Hi, friendos. We've got huge holiday sales happening now at ProWrestlingTees.com/GoingInRaw and FriendoMarket.com. 20% off everything on both sites, and we have restocked Slaya shirt sticker packs at the Friendo Market. Links in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hi, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Rawview. What is Going In Rawview, you ask? This is a show here at Going In Raw where we take an old pay-per-view and then we review it so that you guys can watch us watch, or you guys can watch us talk about shit that happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
So when was the last time we did this?
About a year ago.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Last October 29th.
Whoa, almost.
More than a year ago.
Exactly
More than a year ago,
yeah.
Reviewed Armageddon 2006.
Wow, my goodness gracious. So we figured we got the Turkey Days coming up. Today's Turkey Day. We're filming this live in front of about 200 people. Hey, everybody.
Yes. Welcome.
But for the vast majority of the people watching this and listening to this, it's going live on Thanksgiving here in the United States. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
We got a big sale going on at Friendo Market tonight for Black Friday, 24 hours. All our shirt sticker packs are $20. We restacked the Slaya shirts. Restocked. Thank you. Prints are down to $10 a pop.
Whoa.
My comic book's down to $10 a pop.
Oh, my gosh.
For 24 hours. And then it's going back up.
The usual pricing.
Well, we'll probably do like $25 for the shirt sticker packs for the holidays.
Yeah.
Until the holidays. Yeah. So that's going on. Then over at Pro Wrestling Tees, you got stuff on sale. But yeah, we used to do these retro pay-per-view reviews. They were a lot of fun. We just stopped doing them for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, there was 3 hours to watch the show and then another hour to do the thing.
Because we used to do them.
Time commitment. Yeah,
we would do them weekly.
Yeah,
and then
got to be a bit much.
And then we bandied the idea around of doing something different with the Going In Raw View idea, and we didn't really do that because I didn't really want to. And then we're like, hey, Thanksgiving's coming up.
We need programming.
We need programming because we're not going to work on Thanksgiving.
No, let's give thanks to the friendos who have consistently over the past year asked us, when's Going In Rawview coming back?
Yeah.
When's Going In Rawview coming back?
Yeah.
It's coming back now. It's probably a limited engagement. We might do more in the future. We'll probably do one around Christmas time, but after that, who knows? We'll see.
I think it'd be a good idea. I'm going to throw this out there. Whenever there's like a federal holiday, because like my wife has that day off, so instead of coming in on a Monday, we just do a Going In Rawview to coincide with federal holidays. We'll do that because we got Christmas coming up. We're going to need a show for that.
New Year's Day
coming up. We're going to need a show for that.
Yeah.
So that takes care of those. So we're going to do a couple of them over the next month.
Yeah.
So it might end up being a kind of a monthly-ish thing or a quarterly thing.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I did want to take kind of a different approach with how we selected the pay-per-views. We have we still decided to do the put 3 up
for a vote. Yeah.
For a vote for the $10 and up patrons. At patreon.com/Steve and Larson. The people of Patreon, they told us that the $10 tier should include a vote. So we did that. And so I did want to look at more iconic pay-per-views. In the past, we just sort of did like quirkier pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of, maybe it'd do better if we had like more iconic moments in wrestling. Maybe it won't, maybe it will. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But what more iconic moment in the history of wrestling controversy anyways, is there than the Montreal Screwjob?
None more iconic.
None more. Now, most of you understand, most of you have done your own research. You've either watched the amazing documentary Wrestling with Shadows.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Or you have
Seen the HBK Bret Hart WWE documentary Rivals.
Or
Rivalries, whatever. That's really good.
Yeah, that's good. They've both said sort of their bits over the years, and we've sort of come into a consensus idea as to what happened to lead to the end of this pay-per-view. And so, but by and large, in terms of a Survivor Series, not a great one.
No. The best actual match on the card was Mankind versus Kane.
Yeah.
That was a really fun match.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is the very beginning of the Attitude Era. They were still working some things out. Some creative missteps. I guess we should just get right into it.
Yeah, let's just get right into it. You wrote some good notes. I wrote some notes. It was brought to you by...
But it was Gang Rules.
Milton Bradley.
No, you're already wrong. It's Mattel.
It was Mattel? I thought it was Milton Bradley.
No, it was Mattel.
It was Mattel Karate Fighters?
Yeah, it was Mattel Karate Fighters. It was on the blimp, man.
Oh,
there was a blimp flying through the arena.
What is with my memory these days?
I don't know.
I'm like completely misremembering stuff. It's Milton Bradley.
Oh, that's weird.
What the hell are you talking about? It's Milton Bradley.
I just did Mattel Karate Fighter search and it came up with something.
I don't think I would have written it down. Look at Milton Bradley.
All right, I guess I'm wrong.
What the hell?
Anyways, it was brought to us by...
I already have it bad enough, man. I don't need you making me even worse.
I mean, that's the whole... I'm like on cold meds too, so I can't be trusted.
You're all shitty about it too. No, wrong. You're immediately wrong. You're an idiot. Oh, man.
What was with this Gang Rules subtitle for the show?
Well, in the 90s, for people who are too young to know this, everything in the 90s that could have been spelled with an S, they did it with a Z. Surprise Friends didn't end up like that.
Ditched the E, too. So it's more like Gang Rolls.
Oh.
That's foreshadowing. Because like a year later, Gangrel was there.
That's maybe. Could be. I don't know. I know that... I mean, look, there was a couple...
I should have pronounced rules. That's obviously your rolls.
There were just leave that one alone. There were a couple groups in here that could be considered gangs.
Oh, yeah.
You have a motorcycle gang.
The DOA, Disciples of Apocalypse, that's definitely a gang.
Yeah, evidently you have some sort of South African white separatist gang. The Truth Commission. Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, my gosh.
Apparently they preceded WWE even. They're in like USWA or something. And the funny thing is, like, they get their name. I don't know. See, I did like a little bit of research, but I didn't see anything where they actually sort of implemented the white separatist aspect of it. That's heavy shit. That is when you say, "Hey, what's your gimmick?" I'm a South African white separatist group.
That shouldn't be.
What are you talking about right now?
Involved in professional wrestling.
No, it really shouldn't.
No.
But apparently they got the name, the Truth Commission, from something called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission or something like that, which actually was there, which is not a white separatist group, which is actually there to implement their version of like reparations to make sure everything was cool. And by and large, apparently it successfully sort of helped. The shit that was going on in South Africa. So I don't know what I don't know. I don't know where this came from. I did like a little bit of research. I went on their Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But like it was basically just a lot of the like character booking. Like Jackal sort of was here and he wanted to be a wrestler, but Vince thought he was really good with promos, so he made him a manager instead.
Yeah.
This is obviously where Kurgan got his WWF start.
I didn't recognize the other two members of Truth Commission.
Oh, one of them was Bull Buchanan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
I didn't recognize him either, and then I looked it up. And then
probably because he had hair, huh?
Could be. And then there's the other guy I didn't recognize. And then when I looked him up, I didn't really know who he was either. But that was just a bizarre thing. Like I was just like, because I kind of remember seeing them, but I never understood what their deal was until I literally looked them up for this.
Yeah, same here.
So that was really weird. The Truth Commission, a white separatist group.
That's weird.
I can't even believe I'm saying that. But you got them. You've got the Nation of Domination. You've got, I already said DOA, the motorcycle group. I mean, the New Age Outlaws and the Godwins, they weren't like a gang.
No.
The new Blackjacks aren't really a gang.
No.
So at that point, yeah, there's not a whole lot of gang stuff going on, but there was a couple here and there.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it was just controversial to use the word gang.
Maybe.
That's when
that's seemingly was WWE's MO, especially early attitude.
Yeah.
Let's be controversial.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, groups like NWA, and then of course the whole West Coast rap explosion thing, gangster rap in general, that all happened 5 years earlier, and so of course it would take WWE 5 years to think of that as controversial and get in on the bandwagon of that. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know
either. There was pyro at the show to open the show, and the whole ramp got lit on fire.
Yeah, that was cool.
You notice that?
Yeah.
And there was that blimp with apparently Milton Bradley's karate fighters on it. But like, if you're up in the upper deck, you got to deal with this damn blimp hovering in front of your face the whole show.
Well, it's the same thing they got these days, except it's computer generated.
Yeah, but it's not actually there.
Oh, it's not.
No.
I thought they did like a really cool hologram thing.
No,
like
that
a Tupac
I don't
hologram.
think that technology exists on that kind of scale.
Not yet.
Not
yet. We're getting there.
Not yet.
We're getting there.
The show kicked off with the Headbangers and the new Blackjacks, who were Bradshaw and Hoss Barry Windham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to look up which. I was like, wait, because they just called them
Blackjack Windham.
Blackjack Windham, and then Blackjack
JBL?
Bradshaw, yeah. And I had to look up because the Windham I remember was blonde haired, and he was tall and kind of trim-ish.
Yeah.
This guy seemed not those things.
Well, he was tall still.
So I thought maybe it was Kendall.
No, it was
Barry.
Barry.
It was Barry,
It was
yeah.
Barry, towards the tail end of his career, I believe.
So that was weird.
And they took on the New Age Outlaws, who hadn't exactly taken the form they would even just a few months later.
Yeah, in this case, they were simply homophobes.
Oh, dear.
We just need to get this out of the way. If you're going to watch this to sort of play along with going in Rawview,
be prepared for a lot.
And you have
a lot.
Like if you're sensitive to any homophobic stuff, don't watch this, because immediately Road Dogg comes out and he's throwing around slurs not left and right, but he throws a slur out there, and it's like, oh Lord, where have I stepped? And I'm like, dude, 1997. I don't remember it being that bad.
I don't either.
Every sign, dude.
Especially during the main event. It was awful. It was awful.
It was so bad.
Hey, 1997, just be cool.
Just chill the fuck out, please.
Oh my gosh.
Chill out. I remember 97 as being a pretty fun year for me. That's when you and I really sort of started hanging out.
Yeah.
Because we had that class together, astronomy.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun.
It was.
But, and then there's some other cool stuff going on. What Pearl Jam release came out in 1997?
That might have been...
Vitalogy?
No.
That was
still in high school.
Really?
That was probably No Code.
Oh, yeah, No Code came out that year.
That's kind of mediocre.
It's kind of
album.
a crap album.
Yeah, it's not that great.
But I remember good things about 1997. But I don't remember so much homophobia going around.
It was awful.
In the wrestling world,
that
was the
awful.
Thing. So, yeah, like I said, the Headbangers and the new Blackjacks versus the new Age Outlaws and the Godwins.
Of course, it was Midian. He was one of the Godwins. I can't remember what the other...
Phineas,
but I don't remember what his gimmick was later.
Did he have a gimmick later?
I don't know if he did.
I thought it was just Midian who had a gimmick
Could
later.
be.
As Midian.
Could be. So the first elimination was JBL eliminating Henry Godwin.
Yeah.
Not Midian. With a roll-up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Henry Godwin. Phineas was Midian.
Oh, Phineas was Midian.
At least that's what I have here in my notes.
Okay. You're probably right.
And then Midian eliminated Barry Windham with the clothesline. You're going to hear a lot of these finishes and be like, that was a finisher in 97?
Oh, dude. The
clothesline, sidewalk slam.
The Truth Commission DOA match was all bizarre finishers. None of them were real finishers.
Bulldogs, sidewalk slam. And then Billy Gunn had a weird thing where he pinned Mosh. It was like some weird top rope thing. No, that was later. It was just a pin then. Sorry, Billy Gunn just pinned Mosh. Thrasher pins Midian after a top rope senton. That was actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was weird. Road Dogg rolls up JBL for the win. JBL seemed like he get his shoulders up, and the ref says, "No, you're out of here." And everybody's standing around kind of confused.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah,
then
really weird.
the last elimination was Billy Gunn pins Thrasher after this top rope leg drop, almost kind of like a Famouser type thing.
Even then, though, JBL, he looked like he was working stiff.
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire time I saw JBL out there, all I thought was, so this was like right before he was like rolling up to Edge in the shower. Because Edge was about to come in.
Yeah.
And I figure it wasn't like in the mid-aughts when he was doing that. It was probably right after Edge came in.
I know. It didn't really seem like Bradshaw was, I don't know how well established he was on the roster at that point.
Did he have enough stroke to be going up to people in the shower hazing them?
He was in a revival of an old tag team with the...
He was in a sequel tag team to a crap tag team.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how like the original Blackjacks are Hall of Famers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But then, your partner is tail end of career Barry Windham.
Wasn't Barry Windham in WCW at the time, though? Was he pulling double duty or something?
I don't think he could do that then.
Because when did I see Barry Windham?
Probably after this in WCW.
It was after this.
Yeah.
Man, that
he wasn't
guy got
content
around.
to be Blackjack Windham. He wanted to go back to WCW and be Barry Windham.
I guess so, and he took some dietary tips from somebody.
Maybe.
Because I swear he was like a lot thinner later on.
I don't know.
Fat Windham. Anyways, after that was the aforementioned Truth Commission.
Taking on Disciples of Apocalypse, DOA.
I wonder if anybody in Truth Commission understood the nature of what that gimmick, evidently, according to Wikipedia, was supposed to be. I don't know. I'm so curious about that. Anyways, they took on DOA, which was seemingly every era of wrestling has a motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
I can't think of a motorcycle gang now, but seemingly every single one, there was always a motorcycle gang. I mean, for a spell, Eric Bischoff was really trying to get the
NWO. He really wanted them to be a motorcycle gang.
What, do you have anything more on
I'm just reading the Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, yeah, Don Callis, Jackal.
Yeah, that was neat to see Don Callis.
He's their manager. Let's see here. Yeah, again, some of these great finishes here. The Giant Kurgan, who is also known as the Interrogator of the Truth Commission, which has an ominous sound.
Well, I mean, here's the bit in the Wikipedia entry, and you're correct. It just says citation needed.
Dude, is that one of those things on Wikipedia somebody made up? Because Don Callis kept on he kept on saying that there were military guys, but he never specifically said.
Well, then Lawler and JR would compare him to David Koresh.
Oh, good point. Aces and Eights, also a motorcycle gang.
True.
We should do a new count out. Top 10.
There we go. Top 10.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow count out's coming back for 2 episodes.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
So what now? Lawler said something.
Oh, they were comparing Callis to David Koresh.
But he was more of a cult leader.
Koresh was, yes.
Yeah, Koresh, he wasn't like a racist, though. I don't think, right? I mean, he might have been crazy.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Is Koresh, which one was Koresh? What did
that
he
was
do?
the one in Waco.
Oh, God. That ended bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed all bad. Anyways, Kurgan, the Interrogator, pinned Chains. Which one was Chains?
One of the...
Who was Primetime Brian Lee?
He was... No, I don't know.
Crush. Was he still Crush?
Yes. I think.
Zero.
No, Brian Adams was Crush.
Oh, yeah, Brian Adams was Crush. Who was
Primetime Brian Lee was fake Undertaker.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know if he was in DOA at this time.
I thought I saw him.
Because there was the two Harris brothers.
There's Brian Adams, and wasn't there Primetime Brian Lee?
Maybe.
I think he was the other guy.
What was his name in DOA then?
Chains?
Maybe.
Who's Chains?
Yeah, Chains. You're right. Chains.
Nice.
Primetime Brian Lee was Chains. Correct.
Oof. Going crazy over here.
I know. Well, he was the first eliminated. Not so primetime in this match.
No.
And then Don Callis was pinned by one of the Harris brothers after a sidewalk slam.
Oh, and in a wonderful bit of foreshadowing for 20 years later, JR couldn't get either of the Harris brothers right.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's which. They both look exactly the same. Forward 25 years later, look at that. Kota Ibushi, the leader of LIJ, is in that ring right now with Zack Sabre Suzuki.
Zack Suzuki Jr.
And then Josh Barnett gets up and goes try to take over the show.
It's just interesting in this match that the sidewalk slam was like...
devastating, dude.
I know that, and also one of my teammates, Chains, got pinned with sidewalk slam. I'm going to show this Truth Commission. I'm going to pin one of their guys, the smallest one, with sidewalk slam.
Right.
Says one of the Harris brothers.
Yeah.
Right after Callis gets eliminated, he just goes over to commentary.
He does. Where he really shines. That's where he's really good at.
He's
to this day.
He's a great talker.
To this day, he's still really good at that.
He is a great talker. Back in the ring, the other Harris brother, or wait,
I don't know which one is which.
One of the Harris brothers pinned
Don
Recon.
or Ron? Is it Don and Ron? Is that who it is?
Yeah,
okay.
But they had different names in DOA.
Yeah.
Which one of the Truth Commission was Bull Buchanan? Was it Sniper or Recon?
Yes.
All right. Well, Recon was pinned.
I want to say it was Recon.
Recon was pinned after a clothesline, and then Sniper. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, Ron and Don were Skull and 8-Ball.
There you go.
According to Jason Jimerson in chat. That's why we do
Sniper was the smallest member of Truth Commission.
Well,
I think next to Don Callis.
Yeah. So Recon's Bull Buchanan.
He pins a Harris brother after a bulldog. Again, that was a finishing move. Kurgan hits a sidewalk slam on one of the Harris brothers, eliminated. And then Brian Adams pins Sniper just after a pretty basic body slam.
Yeah.
And then Kurgan picks up the win after hitting a sidewalk slam on Brian Adams and pinning him.
Who was producing this match? Who was the innovator of the sidewalk slam? Is that who was producing this match?
Based on this match, it lead to believe that Kurgan was.
Did he produce this?
Because when he was a member of the Oddities, he just did the skull thing.
Yeah, that seems more
as
devastating than the friggin' sidewalk slam.
I know. Like it felt like everybody did the sidewalk slam. That was Kevin Nash's signature. Get up, Paul. Side slam. Remember that?
Get up, Paul. Side
Big
slam.
Show used to do side slam.
Yeah.
Anyways, after that, there were some man on the street interviews asking people, and I guess in Montreal, who they thought was going to win the HBK Bret Hart match.
I loved it because some of these dudes were just straight up speaking in French. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they're in Montreal.
Yeah, man, they do that.
This next part was great.
Hold on a second.
What?
I love this. One of the fans said, "Oh, we love Bret Hart. We'd follow him all the way to," and they cut to the next fan. I will almost guarantee that kid said WCW. He looked like a dirt sheet reader, man. He used to get OG newsletter in paper form.
There you go.
Mailed to the house. He was a tape trader. Anyways, yeah, this next bit. Go ahead. This is great.
Oh, so Kevin Kelly is in the locker room. There's some intern on a laptop. He's on AOL.
Hold on a second,
and
dude.
Stone Cold's back there.
This is not just some locker room. This is the America Online room.
Yeah.
This is where they have the computer with the 56K modem going. Stone Cold looks like he does not understand what's going on with his computer.
Nor does
here.
he care.
He definitely doesn't care. Kevin Kelly, again, great commentator guy, goes up to Stone Cold, asks him what it's like to be interacting with all these fans via magic.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold's like, I don't give a damn about all these fans and these nerds there on the computer. All I care about is I got dumped on my damn neck, and I'm going to go out there and get my Intercontinental Championship back, damn it.
Almost said America Online Championship.
What is that goddamn sound right there? You've got mail. What?
You've got mail.
What?
You've got mail. All right, next after that.
Hold on a second. I took this note here, so I have to say it. The thing that I loved about it is that he said, Kevin Kelly says, go to AOL, keyword superstars. For you international fans, click on international, then on sports, then it's keyword superstars.
Wow.
And to go through some flipping like code breaking
I know, you have
challenges.
to go through all sorts of hoops. This next part was great. Michael Cole interviews Team USA. Did you see Mark Merrow?
Yeah.
He was mean mugging on Michael Cole the whole interview.
Oh yeah. Mark Merrow looked great back then.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, he looked like $1 million.
The whole time he was like shooting lasers at Michael Cole.
This whole thing was weird because also so Vader, number one, I could kind of see Vince if he didn't know about Vader's pedigree, his past accomplishments, which would not be surprising at all.
No.
Because if it didn't happen in WWF, it didn't happen. I could kind of see why he wasn't huge on him. You know what I mean? Like his promo was not very good.
No, he was never
Michael,
the best talker.
What did Michael Cole said? This is great. Michael Cole throws him a question that seems to be way over Vader's head. He says, Vader, this team doesn't seem to have a common thread. And Vader goes, you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. And then he just launches into. He doesn't answer the question at all.
No.
And then, promo was terrible. At one point, the camera tried to find Goldust because Goldust was like lingering in the back.
Yeah,
and at one point, he turns around away from the camera.
Apparently, they were alluding to during the show that he was having some marital problems with Marlena.
Yeah.
He had a FU on his cheeks.
Which was supposed to stand for Forever Unchained.
Oh.
But obviously, FU probably really stands for fuck you.
FU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at one point, the camera started slowly zooming in, trying to get past Michael Cole's head and find Goldust, but it was just really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I couldn't not look at Mark Merrill the whole time.
I was just staring
at he had issue with Michael Cole.
Yeah. I was staring at Steve Blackman the entire time because just preceding this segment, they gave us a brief history of the origins of Steve Blackman. I didn't know that was his origin, that he was a fan who came in and helped Vader fend off like the Bulldog group or the Hart Foundation, the Team Bulldog.
Yeah.
So he helped Vader. So Vader, I guess, got him a contract with WWF.
If it were only that easy.
I know. Here's the thing about Steve Blackman. That dude had a great look.
Oh, yeah, and he was actually pretty good in the ring.
He looked like a movie star, and you're right. He was really good in the ring. Black hole of charisma.
Oh, yeah. Totally. You see him on the apron. This is supposed to be his first match.
Yeah.
Blank expression.
And I wonder if in his mind he thought, oh, I'm being hard.
Well, I think maybe he was supposed to be like, the steeled.
Yeah, the iron cold
with
guy.
ice in his veins.
Yeah, but really he just
came off as
bored.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to be here.
So anyways, that was a goofy little promo. Some of those promos were just goofy because they did the same thing with Shamrock and his group.
Yeah.
And just Shamrock wasn't a very good promo.
No.
But he was just starting out. Again, he was starting out. That's better than I could have done.
Oh, yeah. At least Shamrock brought intensity.
Speaking of intensity, out came Kurt Angle next.
No, that's Team USA's music. They used that music a lot before Kurt used it.
So I knew they used it for Kurt and the Patriot.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they used it for just anything.
I think anything USA themed for
USA
a while.
related.
Because Mark Merrow, Steve Blackman, Goldust, and Vader were Team USA, and they took on Team Canada, which featured Jim Neidhart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he's Canadian.
No,
British
I
Bulldog.
Don't think so. Yeah,
he's not Canadian.
No.
Phil LaFawn, he is Canadian.
Yes.
And then Doug Furnace, not Canadian.
How did Doug Furnace get out of that match with his arm intact?
Oh, I know.
When what's his face? Who was it? Merrow? Yeah, it was Merrow, who oddly seemed to be miles ahead of everybody in terms of wrestling moves. Like he was wrestling like people wrestle today.
Yeah. He
comes off on a moonsault during one spot.
Yeah.
But I love this the promo with Furnace. Where's it?
Oh, Doug Furnace?
Doug Furnace. He says, because he's on Team Canada. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And he says, he said, they took the microphone to Doug, and Doug said, Americans are all about three things these days: drug, crimes, slimes, and something else. And that's why I'm no longer in America.
Yeah.
It was the least convincing.
Yeah, it really was.
He said they're into drug. He didn't say drugs.
Singular drug.
Drug.
Singular.
They're into a drug. He's Doug. Seems like you might have done some. Anyways. The only note I have for this was, ouch! Furnace tries to catch Merrow on his shoulder.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt.
That looked like it hurt.
I believe Steve Blackman was the first one eliminated from this match. That's the first note I have.
Do you know how it was?
Count it out.
And, they chalked it up to him not knowing, because he's new to professional wrestling.
Didn't know the rules.
He didn't understand that you couldn't malinger outside the ring.
That actually kind of makes a measure of sense.
It does. It totally does. There's actual booking logic right there.
Vader carried Team USA. He did all the work. All the work.
Yeah.
He pinned Anvil after a splash. He pinned Phil LaFawn after a second rope splash.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I made note here about the moonsault too. Doug Furnace pins Merrow with a roll-up, apparently with one good arm. At one point, Vader goes to the corner, says, Goldust, tag in. Mm-hmm. Goldust just turns around. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Vader eats a low blow from Furnace. Again, Vader looks for the tag. Goldust jumps off the apron, eventually comes back. Vader slaps Goldust, tagging him in, throws him into the ring, and Goldust just leaves. He gets counted out.
Yeah. Took
Vader,
the Blackman way out.
Yeah, Vader pins Doug Furnace after a power Vader bomb, and then Bulldog was just waiting for that to play itself out. Has the ring bell, hits Vader with it. Bulldog wins it for Team Canada.
Good job, Bulldog. Well done, Vader. That team, again, Michael Cole called it, had no common thread.
Yeah.
And Vader had no answer for that.
Yeah.
And
none.
That's how it played out.
Maybe Vader would have been far more successful in WWE if they had scripted his promos.
Yeah. No, you know what, though, dude? That's actually literally one thing I thought while watching this. I was like, man, I totally understand why they do scripted promos because of guys like Shamrock and Vader.
Mm-hmm. I'm guarantee you Shamrocks were scripted. He just probably wasn't very good at reading lines.
That could be. Like, I don't know. Do you think they were cue carded or just scripted?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah, but you think they scripted him within an inch of its life? Like, you think it was scripted?
I think so.
Probably, yeah.
At least to start. If he has no experience doing promos, I wouldn't be surprised they scripted him.
After having read that tweet he sent out like a week ago, he's like, what's going on here? Why does this sentence not have 8 periods in it?
There's not enough parentheses in this sentence.
After that...
this was great. So there's a contest. What was the contest called?
The Survivor Series Sweepstakes Supper
Sweepstakes.
Supper Sweepstakes.
Something like that.
The Super Supper Sweepstakes.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And the winner got to have dinner with...
So Jacqueline Cook won. They got her on the phone, and they said, you get to have dinner. Apparently, I read online, it was like 10 of her friends. 10 of her friends got to have dinner with any superstar she wanted to, and Jerry Lawler was playing like it was going to be him. And then she said, I'm going to have dinner with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. It was an awkward phone call.
It was super awkward, although I'm dying to know if that ever actually happened.
I know.
I'm sure Reddit has it somewhere.
Maybe Stone Cold's talked about it on his podcast.
This lady, Jacqueline Cook, ended up marrying her. Next up, we had a fantastic Mick Foley promo.
Great.
Mankind promo.
Man.
He was the best, dude. He was in the boiler room. Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All dramatically lit. He was the best. This was incredible. Foley was such a good promo back then.
Yeah, they had like a sort of an extended video package before that too.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of
about Kane's appearance in WWF.
Yeah.
Mankind kind of being the first one to get in his way. And this was the best match of the night.
Oh, by far. Absolutely. It was great.
It was Foley doing Foley stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The whole match happened. The whole ring was basked in red light.
Doesn't happen enough.
No.
Doesn't happen enough.
I think only 2 examples I can remember are Kane's early matches and then early Sin Cara, where they dim the house lights, apparently to help him see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There was a lot of great spots on this. Foley pancakes Kane under the ring steps.
Mm-hmm.
Foley, one of his missions was to get the mandible claw on Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
I mentioned his promo. He does that. This is a great spot where Kane just shoves Foley off the apron and sends him through the announce table.
Yeah, dude.
That was great.
Again, so freaking ahead of his time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Kane goes for a choke slam on the floor. Foley kicks him in the front area, hits him with a DDT. And then Kane threw Foley off the top rope onto the mats on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we got Foley's elbow from the apron onto Kane. In the end, though, Kane won via tombstone pile driver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But a lot of fun. I need to go back and watch a lot more of Foley's matches in like 96, 97 when he first came to WWE, because his match against Shawn Michaels at Mind Games is awesome. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
It is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super good. Yeah, no, that one, and like you can even go back to like WCW. Like it's so weird to see like how much crap there was, but then how much like legitimately really, really good wrestling there was. Not just from him, but like, Vader obviously was there too.
Yeah.
Of course, Austin was there.
Yeah.
There's so much actual good wrestling in WCW in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah. Early, mid-90s. Next, we had a brief interview. Michael Cole was talking to Vince McMahon and Sergeant Slaughter.
You snakes.
And
snakes.
The last question Michael Cole asked Vince is, Vince, who's going to win the main event? And Vince said, as uncomfortably as possible, I don't know.
And then...
Yeah, I know.
His nose getting
longer.
His
pants burst into flames.
Exactly. I don't know. You snake. After that, Nation of Domination versus the team of Legion of Doom, who were still pretty good at the time.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock.
He was relatively new to WWE at the time.
And Ahmed Johnson, who is a big dude. That is a big man. He's huge.
Before the match started, we had a Ken Shamrock Legion of Doom interview. Ken Shamrock did most of the heavy lifting this match.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you could tell they were grooming him to be something big.
Yeah, because the next pay-per-view after this, he had a title match against HBK.
Let me ask you something. Was there any way to book Ken Shamrock differently than they did to become a world champion?
They should get him a manager.
Yeah.
Imagine if Paul Heyman was.
Yeah.
There was a Paul Heyman of that day.
Yeah.
Give him the Paul Heyman of 1997.
Because
he could deliver in the ring. He was a good wrestler. He had years of experience wrestling, not just MMA, but doing the pancrase type stuff, which was kind of a wrestling MMA hybrid.
I could see Shamrock as like a Brock type.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of silent.
Totally.
Like, yeah, that
totally.
Could be, that could be something interesting. Yeah, I do. I wonder. One thing I have nothing to go by on this, but you know how Austin, Rock, Triple H have all talked about the politics backstage. Mm-hmm. They had all been in the game for a while.
Oh,
well, not Rock,
not the Rock,
but he was just a star. But Triple H, Austin, guys like that, Taker, they'd all been in the game for a while. Shamrock hadn't.
No.
I wonder if he just sort of took what was given him,
probably,
as opposed to the others who were like,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
HBK backstabbing snakes. I wonder if that had to do with it.
Could be.
He's like, man, I'm just here to be a wrestler, and I see Triple H coming out of Vince's office. He's got my spot now.
Yeah,
he's winning.
I was supposed to win King of the Ring. Now Triple H is.
Yeah.
And then was it Animal? No, Hawk. Just chimed in at the end, gave a what a rush.
Rush.
Match started pretty early on. Hawk was eliminated via rock bottom from the Rock. Shortly after that, Ahmed Johnson pins Farouk with a Pearl River plunge. Farouk just hangs out ringside rather than going backstage like he's supposed to. At one point, he trips up Ahmed Johnson, holds his feet down, allows the Rock to pin him. And then Farouk and Ahmed brawl all the way up the ramp and all the way backstage.
Was Ahmed part of the Nation at one point?
I think so, yeah.
Did that precede this? And
no,
maybe he was
afterwards.
It was okay.
I think. Animal pins Kama, the Ultimate Fighting Machine.
The Godfather.
With roll-up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Billy Gunn and Road Dogg come down to ringside. Road Dogg throws powder in Animal's face, and Animal's counted out 2 count-out eliminations.
This is when the New Age Outlaws
were kind of becoming New Age Outlaws.
Sniffing at the tag team titles there, yeah.
D'Lo taps to an ankle lock from Shamrock, and then Rock hits Shamrock with a chair, but in the end, Rock taps to the ankle lock. Shamrock wins it for his team.
Survivor Series. And then didn't Rock and Shamrock fight at Mania 14?
For the Intercontinental title, yeah.
For the Intercontinental title. And that was when... Didn't Shamrock bust up the Rock too bad for the match to continue or something like that? It's like a DQ.
It was a wonky finish, yeah.
It was like a wonky finish, yeah. After that, we had an extensive video package with many, many shots of Stone Cold Steve Austin getting dumped on his head by Owen Hart.
Yep.
Boy, that is not fun to watch. That is so tough to watch. Not huge on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't either. And then they show the screen when Owen comes to the ring, and that's featured prominently in his Titantron package.
Yeah, I miss Titantron packages.
Me too. Did you notice that JR said that Austin had to sign a hold harmless agreement to take part in this match? So we thought, why is this new thing? WWE's doing this hold harmless.
Man.
No, they've been doing this for 20 plus years.
Yeah. Austin was super over at this point. It was
but this wasn't a very good match.
No, it was quick too,
and it was not good.
I didn't see how long this match was.
It was short.
But yeah. Oh, that was one of the questions Kevin Kelly asked him in the AOL room was, so what's up? Your doctors haven't cleared. No, my doctors haven't cleared me, but I got to do it anyway. You dumb son of a bitch.
Match kicks off. Anvil tries to sneak attack Stone Cold. Eats a stunner. Owen, there's some brawling back and forth.
This is a 4-minute match.
Yeah, it felt really short.
Yeah, this is a 4-minute match. But he was just coming back. He had to sign a hold harmless.
Oh, yeah.
He had to get the job done and then get out of there.
Owen tries to leave. Austin chases them up the ramp, clotheslines him. Owen hits a low blow. Owen hits a low blow on Stone Cold. Beats him up near the announce tables, chokes him with the cable.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the ring, they do one spot where it looks like Owen was trying to do something. Stone Cold almost turned him around for tombstone position. Owen got out of it, right into the stunner. Stone Cold wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then Team Canada gets in the ring. They eat stunners too.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the match everybody wants us to talk about. Shawn Michaels, the WWE European champion, versus Bret Hart, the WWF World Champion.
So not to belabor the backstory to this, but for those of you who might not know, Bret Hart, and this is, again, I can't stress enough, watch Wrestling with Shadows. It is a fascinating documentary.
Yes, it's so good.
On the Bret Hart, the man, is fascinating.
Corrected. Ahmed did join in June, and they kicked him out of Nation in August, so it was before the pay-per-view.
Okay, that makes some measure sense. Yes. That makes some sense. So Bret Hart had been offered a big deal from WCW. So I'll try to not go the scenic route here. In essence, he was leaving for WCW. Vince said, I can't afford you. There was always kind of also this like sort of undercurrent, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how it came off. Wrestling was changing. Vince understood that. Didn't see a prominent role for Bret. Didn't know where Bret really fit.
Well, definitely not a role that was commensurate with the amount he was probably paying him.
True, yeah.
And I guess if he thought, well, if Bret's not going to take less money, probably won't want a lesser role, I'll let him out of his deal, and then he can go sign with WCW for a massive contract.
Even if Bret was willing to take the same amount as, let's say, Stone Cold, which was probably significantly less at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the next year Stone Cold will be making mind-blowing money.
Yes.
What role would Bret Hart have really had in the Attitude Era? He admitted that he wasn't even comfortable with the Attitude Era.
No, he wasn't.
The whole thing just had it. It was like WCW was the place where people went to go get big paychecks, and basically check out
and work a light schedule.
But
here's the thing about Bret. Bret never seemed to be the checkout type guy.
No, and I think it always felt. And again, I'm not in the man's head, and this was never explicitly said. But watching that documentary, you kind of got the idea that it's like, man, I don't want to leave the WWF.
No, he didn't want to leave at all.
For one reason, WCW is a place where people check out and they get their paychecks. But the amount of money was like so big.
It was a situation where it seemed like he didn't want to leave WWF, but it seemed to have been made clear to him that he wasn't necessarily welcome there anymore either.
Right. That's kind of what I got from that.
So it felt like his only recourse, if he wanted to continue his career, was to go to WCW.
Yeah. So that then presented an issue. Bret won the title
at SummerSlam against Undertaker because HBK essentially cost Undertaker the title.
Right. Now, the idea was if they wanted him to drop the belt, he had signed the contract like that week or something with WCW.
Yeah.
They wanted him to drop the title at no later than that Survivor Series because Nitro was the next day.
And they didn't want another Medusa situation.
They didn't want a Medusa situation. They didn't even want WCW to be able to announce, we have their champion, which is the end-all, be-all in my eyes anyways.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, Bret, he said, I don't want to drop this title in Canada. I don't want to lose to HBK in Canada because didn't he use the words, it would be the same thing as assassinating my character live on TV.
Yeah.
He's from Calgary, and this is in Montreal, which is about, I think, 1,000 to 1,500 miles away.
Yes.
It's a very, very long ways away.
Yeah.
From that. So that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I wonder how much of it was, I don't want to lose in my home country, or I don't want to lose to Shawn Michaels again.
Or just, I don't want to lose.
Yeah. I know.
Vacate the title.
Because I believe the next night, this is all from Wrestling with Shadows, I think. The next night, he was like, I'll hand over the belt on Raw or something like that.
Yeah. I'll hand over the belt. And then the other element was they tried, apparently, 20 different scenarios to convince Bret.
So we can lose the belt, and still his character would save face.
Yeah. And he declined them all, apparently. So from what I understand also, like just from the stuff that we've read throughout the years, there was a phone call to discuss the issue, and it was Vince, HBK, Triple H, and then probably like Pat Patterson, Briscoe, those guys maybe, right? And apparently there was a long silence, and then it was Triple H who said, well, we just got to take it off him, right?
Yeah.
Which is so great, given where Triple H is today. I know. That this dude, who is just coming off a punishment.
Yeah, just about a year prior.
Yeah, is the one piping up saying, we just screwed the guy over.
Well, didn't he say something like, if he's not going to do business, then let's just take the title off him or something like that?
Yeah, it was something like that, which is great. And the funny thing is, so that set up the Montreal, and so they decided to do this screw job, basically. The funny thing is, when you see, the first thing we see is Shawn Michaels. They're doing kind of a Goldberg-ish
they're
thing.
following them through the bowels of the arena towards the ramp. Yeah.
Right, and Chyna's with them, Triple H is with them,
Rick Rude.
and Rude is with them.
That was his last night in WWE.
Yeah, that's right.
He was so upset about the screw job that he left.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is, it's so on HBK's face. It is written clear as day. Bret Hart should have been watching some monitor to view the feed, and if he saw it, I'm getting screwed tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something fishy going on
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
So he looked funny, and then Triple H looked like a man with a plan.
Yeah.
He was probably like, they can't punish me now. This is my plan.
I know.
I
just saved the company.
I just saved the company. We're gonna look like assholes. So, anyways, he comes to the thing. He has his entrance, and even in his entrance, there's no dancing. There's like
a little bit, not a lot,
tiny amount at the edge of the ramp there, at the beginning of the ramp there. He saunters down with the least convincing, arrogant face I've ever seen. Somebody splashes a ton of water on him.
It was beer.
Oh, was that beer? Okay.
Beer, and he just kind of wipes it off. And keeps on going.
He keeps on going. It goes to it was like that. You don't watch Game of Thrones, but it was like the shame walk that they do.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that scene.
You see, and there's like a gif of it, I think. He gets to the ring, and then he dry humps the Canadian flag.
Yeah. Well, he wipes his butt with it.
Yeah.
Uses it as a tissue, and then dry humps it.
Right. Like, I feel like it should have been a different order.
Maybe, yeah.
You're dry humping used toilet paper?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's disgusting.
And boogers.
Yeah. He didn't really have that apprehension face when he was doing that, but then he gets back up and it's back on his face.
Yeah,
like, I'm done humping this flag.
Yeah, I've gotten my heat here in Canada.
Yeah.
Now I got to comprehend
But you could tell it probably, like, just the spotlight just probably felt so much brighter on him, you know? Then we see Bret coming through the hallway. And he's oblivious.
Yeah.
This dude does not know what's going to happen to him.
No.
Because never before, like the last time it had happened, something like this.
It was Moolah and Wendy Richter in the early 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. So who would have thought that was going to be the case? I actually like this match until the finish.
It's not terrible. They spend 95% of it outside the ring brawling around the arena.
Yeah.
And it was pretty ballsy to do not one but two spots where one of them tosses the other into the crowd.
Yes.
To brawl.
Yes.
And the first time especially, I think, Michaels looks seriously annoyed because probably we can't see him getting body shots from people in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Would not surprise me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that crowd was rude to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Yeah. It was going back to that homophobic stuff.
Why don't they blur that stuff out? There was a shot, a close-up of a sign that's awful.
Yeah. That
JR seemingly apologizes for.
Yeah.
Blur that out.
It's
cut it out.
It's really bizarre that they don't blur that stuff out. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it feels like a fairly clear line to blur out slurs, like literally written slurs.
Oh yeah. It
blur
should be
them
obvious
out.
to blur them out.
And then even whenever there's, so I was watching a Raw this is a while ago. I was watching a Raw from back then, and The Godfather dropped a slur as well. And it's like, I understand. I make fun of The Godfather's gimmick as being something that could never be done today, and it's like, he's sex trafficker guy. But that was okay at the time, and whatever. Like, it's not super offensive, like, looking back at it, because it was all comedic and stuff. But like actual slurs that are coming out of people's mouths or being, displayed on signs, it's really easy to bleep that stuff out.
Yeah.
It's like super easy.
Super easy.
But, I don't know. I mean, look, maybe they consider the network kind of, not simply entertainment, but, a document of history. And as ugly as it was, I doubt this is Vince's line of thought, but how are we going to learn if we don't look it in the face? Maybe there's an aspect of that. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, it is pretty disconcerting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had seen this show before, and I hadn't remembered things being to that level.
If they consider it, I'll put it this way: if they consider it the same way, like HBO considers old movies, some of which are, reflective of the times, and characters say certain things that, like, I'll give you a good example. Superbad.
Oh yeah,
has not aged well in the 13 years that it's been out.
No, it has not.
And it's like, I get it. They're supposed to be teenagers in high school, but you'd never see a movie like that these days, speaking the way they speak. They still run it on FX, I think, or TNT, one of those, and it's just a different cut. I think they literally shot different takes for like TV safe, and that's what they run. I don't know what they run on like HBO or whatever, but I would imagine if it's the original theatrical cut, HBO's just going to run it the way it was.
Yeah, probably.
And that's just, that's the movie. That's what it is. You can't go through history correcting everything from back then, because somebody needs to have a record of that stuff. So maybe that's the tact to take.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So anyways, yeah, like we said, there was a lot of just brawling outside. I do love that Vince was it weird at all to Bret that Vince was just out there?
Well, yeah, it was Vince, it was Sergeant Slaughter, it was Briscoe and Patterson were all out there. That was the only time they made an appearance ringside during the entire show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that alone would be a massive, massive red flag.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on here? And then at one point they were brawling up near the stage, and you hear Vince just kind of timidly saying, "Take it back to the ring. Take it back to the ring."
Yeah, like did Vince explain to Bret that he was going to be out there? And then
I don't remember that.
Okay, so going back to that little mini interview with Vince and Slaughter.
Yeah.
What was the impetus for that interview even?
Didn't it follow the man on the street stuff? Because like everybody was giving their take who they thought was going to win. Oh no, it was separated by quite a bit.
But there was also just a very odd feel to it.
Oh yeah.
Like when else would they do that?
I know.
What is the point of that?
I know, and it was subdued Vince too.
Yeah. Was Vince was he sort of foreshadowing his own Vince character, understanding that was going to be a thing?
Or he was having it in the public record that he had no idea what was about to happen.
Right. Yeah.
But it's weird because like the match starts and Vince and Slaughter and Briscoe and Patterson aren't anywhere near ringside, and then when the brawling of the crowd happened, poof, right. They materialize.
Yeah, Vince is just right there all of a sudden.
Yeah, he just materialized.
Take it back to the ring. Take it back to the ring. He can't put you in a sharpshooter, and we can't. I mean,
you got to finish in the ring.
Yeah.
So they brawl all over the place. Someone in chat says it correctly. This wasn't a match; it was a fight. And given their history, both in front of and behind the cameras, in terms of not getting along, it made total sense to book the match this way.
Sorry. Pedro in chat here has a good point. Maybe the reason the crowd was rude to HBK is because he humped the Canadian flag. I mean, you disrespect, expect to get it back. I get that, but at the same time, and granted,
the level of rudeness,
a disproportionate response.
Well, it was that, but also it was premeditated.
Yeah, okay.
It's like people didn't fashion those signs in response to him humping the Canadian flag. They made those at home and brought them into the arena.
That's a good point.
So
that's a good point. Although I don't think that was the first time he had disrespected the Canadian flag.
No, earlier that year, at one of the other matches, he put
in his nose,
or when the Raws preceding the Survivor Series, he put the bit of the Canadian flag up his nose.
How much of an afterthought did that European title look with HBK?
Oh, completely.
It's like, put that on
It gave him a bit of business though, because otherwise I don't know what he would have done.
Yeah,
he really would have showed his nerves. He'd have to carry that belt around. Just like, I don't know where to put my hands.
Oh, God, they're so sweaty.
So there's a lot of brawling, a lot of choking each other with flags.
And cords, right?
And cords. No, that was just the Owen match, I think, because Shawn produces a U.S. flag, chokes Bret with it, and then Bret gets a Quebec flag, chokes Shawn with it. And then more brawling. They brawl all the way around ringside, all the way up the ramp, all the way by the stage, all the way back by ringside. And just punches and running each other into barricades and pile driver attempts that are reversed and the back body drops.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal. It was kind of reminiscent of Bret's match against Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13.
Sure, yeah.
Where 95% of it took place outside the ring. It was just the finish inside the ring. And maybe that's kind of what they were going for.
Could be.
Once they get back in the ring, however, it's your pretty formulaic, essential, basic Bret offense. Goes after Shawn Michaels' leg. Get a figure 4 around the ring post. Bret puts HBK in a figure 4 in the ring. Pressure's reversed. Bret gets the ropes. But it's, you get your side Russian leg sweep, your atomic drop, your backbreaker. All the moves he does to soften up the leg for the sharp shooter. Finish, though, Bret goes to the top rope. HBK gets up, pulls Earl Hebner in front of him. So Hebner takes the ref bump. HBK gives Bret a thumb to the eye and puts Bret in a sharpshooter. Right then, Earl gets up. Does this a little bit. Calls for the bell, and sprints out of there.
Oh, full sprint.
He's gone.
He's done. He's out.
And so Bret stands up.
Trying not to run into the Undertaker backstage.
Yeah, Bret stands up. Shawn Michaels acts like he's upset.
Yeah, not very convincingly.
No.
Triple H is out there, and Chyna's out there, I think.
Yeah. Bret spits in Vince McMahon's face. Who was it? Briscoe? I think it's Briscoe. That kind of escorts DX up the ramp.
Yeah.
And for a while, Shawn when he's leaving the ringside area, he's acting mad. Up the ramp, I kind of get the idea that he's not sure what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
Like whether the crowd is going to revolt.
Yeah.
And then about right before they go through the tunnel, you see Briscoe whisper something to him. And then he raises the championship up in his one kind of celebratory gesture during the whole course of it. And they go backstage.
Yeah.
And then there's another shot of Bret, I'm guessing, consumed with anger, and then the show ends. But on Wrestling with Shadows afterwards, you hear about the aftermath where Bret trashes the entire set.
Yeah.
He writes WCW
towards the air.
Yeah,
he
towards
does
the
like
camera.
Air WCWs.
Backstage, he cold cocks Vince, knocks him out.
And then WCW dropped the ball with Bret completely.
Not having him on Nitro the very next night.
Yeah. Yeah, that was bizarre.
But that could have been. I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard the story behind that. That could have been Bret's call. Maybe he didn't want to do it. Maybe the wound was still too fresh.
That's very possible. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
But to hold him off for another few weeks until Starrcade.
Well, I know Eric Bischoff. Even he. I mean, in the JBL interview with him, he's probably talked about it elsewhere. But in the JBL interview with him, he said that in retrospect, that was probably totally the wrong move to hold off that long. I'm sure Bischoff probably, I mean, it probably couldn't have been too difficult to like get on the horn with him and be like, hey, I just saw what happened. Do you want a live mic tomorrow night?
Yeah.
You know? And
or even do like a phone interview or something.
Yeah, right. They really should have kicked that off hot.
Oh, yeah.
Bischoff claims that Bret Hart was a shell of the man that he had seen before, and he says that's according to other wrestlers. Bret Hart kind of denies that. I think it might be a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing about WWF is that you were dealing with one guy, Vince McMahon, who, for all of his faults, was in the world of wrestling a fairly inspirational figure. Like, it was because of him that they were where they were.
Yeah.
In WCW, you're dealing with Eric Bischoff, who's getting locked in the closet when he fires the friends of other wrestlers.
Yeah.
So, who do you want to work for?
I know.
You're going to the turd team. So, and, like two of the biggest stars there are best friends with a guy that just screwed you over. So how fun is that going to be also? So it could be any number of things. But yeah, and then the Vince McMahon was born.
Mr. McMahon.
Sorry, Mr. McMahon character was born. Yeah.
Mr. McMahon was born. Bret screwed Bret.
Bret screwed Bret. That's what happened there. So yeah. Anyways, that is going in Rawview. We're going to do another one of these probably for the Christmas.
Probably for the Christmas.
Yeah.
So we'll start thinking of ideas of ones that our patrons can vote on.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, our live audience and elsewhere. And yeah, till next time. We'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Big sale, Friendo Market, and ProWrestlingTees.com/Stephen Larson. No,
yes.
/Going in Raw.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, friendos, we've got huge holiday sales happening now at ProWrestlingTees.com/GoingInRaw and FriendoMarket.com. 20% off everything on both sites, and we have restocked Slaya shirt sticker packs at the Friendo Market. Links in the description.